What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Chelsea 0, Newcastle 1, and once again we have dropped points at the bridge. Once again we have failed to cover up the gap to the top 4. And I don't want to for this game. I don't want to talk about the ownership, the project, the directors, and even to some extent the manager. But the kind of mistakes we are making, the 11 players we have on the pitch, the quality we have, we should not be making mistakes like those, no matter who the manager is, who the owner is. The goal that we conceded, oh my god, I guess we have Rossini to blame for some of it, maybe the defensive structure. But as Premier League footballers, these guys can't be making defensive mistakes like those. They absolutely let Joe Willock get through our defense and lay it off for an easy tap into Anthony Gordon, and then of course we failed to score. So yeah, lots to talk about today, guys. Drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Now, starting off with the lineups, it was a decent lineup if I'm being honest. Definitely no rotation, no rest, because the Premier League has to be taken just as seriously as the Champions League, given that we are basically knocked out after midweek, thanks to Philip Jorgensen. And now, it was a full strength 11. Gusto, Cucurella fullbacks, Chalobah Fofana, Reece-James, Caicedo in the midfield, Enzo. And on the wings, we have Garnacho, Palmer, and João Pedro up top. The game started off decently. We had a few chances. Palmer was trying to do some things, but most of his shots were off target. Some decent saves from Ramsdale, nothing much. João Pedro had a few chances, some good headers, but either off target or save, and he can have one off day. He's been really good in the second half of the season. Garnacho, this guy. He keeps trying to dribble past players, but he just can't. And sometimes he looks effective, but then other times he just doesn't manage to do anything on the pitch. And now to the defense. The goal we conceded. I mean, when you have a back four of Gusto, Fofana, and then there's a huge gap between Fofana and Chalobah, and then Cucurella is not even in the back four, he's somewhere in the midfield. Joe Willock runs through that huge gap, and then he's not offside, there's no offside trap, he's completely onside, he's just free to run through the defense. Great pass from, I think it was Tonali. And then the worst thing is, Reece-James actually makes the recovery run. He manages to get to Joe Willock. But then Fofana does not track Anthony Gordon, who's running behind him, and is there for an easy tap in. Willock lays it off to Gordon, easy goal, 1-0, and then Fofana. I think Fofana is the biggest one at fault for that goal, because if he can actually get to Anthony Gordon and prevent that passing option, maybe Reece-James and Sanchez could have actually thrown Joe Willock off, saved the goal, and then we might not have lost this game. But then it is what it is. We go 1-0 down, and then we struggle to score for the entire match. At Stamford Bridge, that was one of the most just lack of intensity, lack of intent. That was one of the worst displays I've ever seen attacking wise. It reminded me of us at the Emirates last season. This season was still okay, but then last season, the kind of game it was, we had none of our attacking players. This was exactly like that. Even though we had everyone on the pitch, we had João Pedro, we had Garnacho, colepalmer, Enzo, Delap at the end, and don't even get me started on Liam Delap. When we signed him and sold Jackson, I kept saying that this guy has done nothing to warrant us selling Jackson in place of him. And he's proving me exactly right. He's done nothing all season. I think he has maybe 3 goals for us this season, not counting the Club World Cup. Honestly, it's not been a great signing. Even his own manager, Rossini, has done nothing to get the best out of him. And now talking about Liam Rossini, I mean, what's happened? The initial manager bounce has, faded away. He started off decently. He started off well. I thought we're going to get some sort of stability. Maybe we're going to push into the top 5, get Champions League. Just let's see how it goes. But now, suddenly, things are collapsing. At first, it was individual errors, red cards, but this is just gameplay. PSG, I don't blame Rossini, if I'm being honest. That was an absolute capitulation by Philip Jorgensen, and it was brilliant. It was 2-2, and then we messed it up, 5-2. There's no hope for that. Premier League, we have, I think, 7 or 8 games left. These are big games. There's Man City, there's United, there's Spurs. I mean, Spurs have their own troubles, but whatever. They're still a big club. There's still the big game factor emotionally for the players. And then we have, City, United, Tottenham, Liverpool, Sunderland on the final day. Don't forget, they beat us at the bridge. We have a tough run. And the only ones struggling other than us are Aston Villa, because United are on top form, Liverpool are on top form, and this way we could slip down to 7th or even 8th, because Brentford are right behind us. They could go 2 points behind if they win. Liverpool will definitely go above us if they win tonight. Everton could be 2 points behind if they beat us next week, if we play Everton next week. So if we keep going like this, I have no clue where this club is headed, what we are doing. What I know is if we fail to qualify for the Champions League this season, the project is finished as we know it. There will be no project. The only saving grace is if we can somehow get into the Champions League again. But then even I don't even know what happens if we get into the Champions League. I mean, we're not going to make some big signings. We're not going to build to win the Premier League next season. But I guess it's just the little hope that we have clinging on, which is Champions League football. If we can get that, maybe something can happen. So let's see, there's still quite a bit of time to go till the end of the season, but it's not looking good. It is not looking good. Whatever hope was generated after the Aston Villa win 4-1 has sort of been killed off by the PSG game and then yesterday. I mean, if we can somehow... The thing is, we need to get colepalmer back to fully fit and firing for the rest of the season. João Pedro is doing good. We need our wingers to start doing something. Neto had a good start to the season, but now he's just faded away. Garnacho, this guy, he tries to get past players, but then he's just not as effective enough. It's so it's the same thing over and over again. The passing patterns, the positioning, it's the absolute same thing. When a team sits down in a low block and defends, we can't do anything. We can't do anything to defend them. That's the problem. And that's why we're probably never gonna, get close to winning the Premier League the way this is. I mean, there's nothing to talk about the owners, the project. We all know the struggles. The moment we sacked Maresca, when we had Maresca in charge, I was genuinely hopeful in the Champions League. I thought the way the Club World Cup went, this guy can actually win us the Champions League. Because we have these big game-winning, match-winning moment capable players like Palmer, João Pedro, Enzo Fernandez. We have Maresca, a guy who studies every single big match in so much detail. Don't forget, the only big teams we've lost to this season are Bayern Munich and Arsenal. We've beaten PSG in the Club World Cup. We've beaten Barcelona. We've beaten Liverpool. We haven't lost to City. We've drawn to them once. So yeah, I mean, it was going really well. And now I have no idea where this project is headed this way. The players are not up for it. Again, last season we tried it. It failed. This season we've tried it. Again, it's failed. We are struggling to build any sort of squad depth beyond the standard starting 11. For the last 2 seasons, we had a pretty good starting 11. But we just haven't had that quality of the bench. We tried it last summer window with João Felix, Drewsbury Hall, this, that. It didn't work out. The B team, it only worked in the Conference League. This season, Garnacho, Gittins, Dario Sugo has been injured half the season. Gittins is injured, nowhere to be found. Estevao has also... I don't know if you guys have noticed, or am I putting labels way too soon? Is this guy a bit injury prone? Because he always does end up missing significant portions of the season for something or the other. I know he's had family emergencies as well, but then, I mean, the Starboy trajectory he was on has kind of faded off a bit. I mean, he's out with injury, out with illness every once in a while. Who else? So, I mean, don't even get me started on Tosin, Badiashile. The defending against Wrexham, that was below any sort of standard. That was below championship level. That's why we don't have anything beyond our standard starting 11. And these guys are going to tire out. I really don't think PSG, we're going to go full strength. I think the lineup Rosinha put out yesterday was his indication that we've given up on PSG. And again, this is not Maresca bias, but if Maresca was here, I'd actually have hope that maybe something was possible because he used to pull these things out in the big games. But right now, there's just no direction, no hope, and I have no clue if we're going to actually do something. For the second leg, I'm sure there's nothing. There's no comeback in place, so we are out of the Champions League, and that's for sure. But then for the rest of the Premier League season, if we can actually get into the top 5, and maybe an FA Cup, man. It's been too long since we've won a cup. Only then could something be salvaged of this season. But then again, we don't know where it's headed next season, what the plan is for the transfer window. So yeah, let's see how it goes, guys. All I know is this team, it needs just a full reset. It needs a mental shake-up. They need to wake up, you know? There was a good period in January, February, the beginning where we were going on 6-game winning runs. We were actually building something, but then it's all collapsed. So now let's see till the end of the season if these guys can actually qualify for the Champions League. Let's hope they do. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you for the next one. Come on, you Blues. Champions League. We need to get back into the Champions League. I'm not talking about the game against PSG. That's it. But the Premier League, we need to get into the top 5. We need to qualify for the Champions League no matter what. So I'll see you for the next video, guys. Have a good day and goodbye.